Welcome to segment 4. Here we're going to details. We are going to look into details on scope, context, and the risk criteria. Very important for you. Let's break down scope, context, and criteria. Risk criteria. Take note that these are foundational elements for any meaningful risk assessment. What is scope? How does it help us in risk assessment? It determines what is included and excluded. Ask yourself which assets, departments, or system are under review. What is out of scope? What is the assessment period? For example, a hospital risk assessment, security risk assessment. When you're conducting a hospital security risk assessment, you might focus on the IT department and pharmacy and exclude the cafeteria. That's just an example for you. Context. Context defines the internal and external environment. Internal environment, culture, policies, procedures, resources. You ask yourself, are staff trained in cybersecurity? Are processes documented? External, under context. We have regulations, industry standards, political, economic factors, third-party dependencies. Examples, take note, national data privacy laws or power outages affecting operations. These are external factors in the context. We have risk criteria. As we had said earlier, these are benchmarks to evaluate risk significance. And as we had also said earlier, we have two approaches. Excuse. The two approaches are qualitative, which is low, medium, or high. Likelihood of theft is medium. Impact on operations is high. Quantitative is about probability because here we are using data. Can be financial or operational impact. For example, 30% of chance of theft versus potential loss of $50,000. We are going to have, as we move in the next weeks to come, you'll understand more about qualitative and quantitative in depth. So you should not have worries much. In most cases, a hybrid approach is used because this provides the clearest picture of the risks, impact, or likelihood that an organization faces. It is very important to understand this section of criteria because this is where you're going to have the matrix, risk matrix. And you must be able to understand and assign value to the risks, whether it is low, medium, or high. But that comes from two factors, likelihood and impact. So you have to understand how you're going to assign those values as you conduct your risk assessment. Remember, we are dealing with the first part of risk assessment, that is scope, context, and risk criteria. Because as you set the risk criteria, that's when now you'll come up with your level of risk your organization is facing. So please take note. Turn to your workbook exercise. Draft scope for process or a site that you know well or where you're working. Identify one internal and one external context factor. Draft a sample risk criterion. Simply risk matrix. Think about concrete examples. For logistical warehouse, scope is a storage area and delivery process. Internal factor, staff adherence to SOPs. External factor, supplier delays. Risk criterion, risk is unacceptable if probability is more than 20% and loss more than $20. That is what you set